So when I was making the spawning animation video, a lot of you guys made a suggestion that I make a pallet break animation ranking. And today is your lucky day, because here it is. I'm going to be doing something a little different. Now there are a lot of ways some killers can break pallets. For the first half of this video, I'm going to do the normals press space to break the pallet ranking. But the second half, some killers have different ways or add-ons that allow them to break pallets, and I'm going to rank those as well too, in their own separate ranking, so I hope you enjoy and let's immediately get started. Also, just a separate little thing here, thank you guys so much for 250 subscribers as of recording this right now. Before I released the spawning animation video, I had around 60 subscribers, so you guys absolutely blew up my channel, both in subscribers and comments, and I really appreciate that so much. You guys have no idea. I try and respond to every comment that I can because I just love you guys. So if you're a returning viewer, welcome back. And to any new viewers, I hope you stay and subscribe. And no matter what, I hope you guys enjoy. And as always, let me know any more of your guys' ideas or thoughts down below. So let's now get right into the first ranking. For the first bit, a lot of killers have the same kick with their right foot animation, but instead of doing what I did last video with the spawning and not actually ranking the bottom tier, this time I will actually rank them appropriately, exactly like how I should have done last video, so I apologize for that. But last place on my list, I think I have to go with Wraith. Him kicking it with his little chicken legs is very funny to me, and the fact that he's barefoot makes this in last place, and it also just doesn't look right. It looks really wonky, and like he shouldn't even be able to break the pallet in the first place. My next up is Trickster. Unlike Wraith, Trickster has some shoes on, but unfortunately doesn't have very beefy legs, and it looks very strange with him kicking the pallet like this when he doesn't seem to have too good a strength, although he's got great dexterity. Next up is Legion. He does have a slightly altered kick in first person with the camera, which is why he's above Trickster, but at the same time, he has the same issue as Trickster where it doesn't just make a lot of sense, and it looks really weird for this teenager to break a pallet so easily like this. Next one is Pig. I think it's strange that she's the only one that has this sort of like weird powder effect to her kick, and I'm not really sure what it is. Nonetheless, she's got the same thing going on as Trickster and Legion, and honestly all three of these can be ranked about the same anyways because they are so similar. Now for last place up here, I have Huntress. She's kind of got the same thing going on with her with the bare foot, but has way less chicken legs, and even though she's been through so much in the forest, this does make sense for her to actually kick the pallet and her just be super resilient. But looking at her kicking this hurts my feet so bad because she doesn't have any footwear and also looks just a little strange. Also, she's literally holding an axe, so she should just use that. So now comes the characters with some more beefy legs and they have shoes on, so it makes a lot more sense that they can actually kick a pallet. I'm mashing a bunch of them into one because these look the exact same, and I think they actually did use the same animation for some. But let's kick this off with Trapper, Myers, which I think actually can straight up break a pallet like this, Bubba, Doctor for his fancy shoe, Clown for his giant clown shoe. Hillbilly, I'm ranking him slightly higher because he seems to put a lot more effort into the last little bit of kick. Next is Freddy. He's a dream demon, so him kicking a pallet does make sense since he's basically able to do whatever he wants, but it still just looks a little weird to me. Skull Merchant, I think this makes a lot more sense because what she's got on is hunting gear, so it makes sense that the boot is way more durable than anything else. I think Ghostface has the same thing as Skull Merchant, and the boot makes way more sense here as well. I really want updated stuff for Pyramid Head. He just uses his foot, and I feel like he could have been so much cooler. It's really sad to rank him this low. Next is Houndmaster. She crushes the Survivor Skull in the Mori in 3 kicks, so her to be able to break a pallet in 2 does make sense, but I think there are some right foot kick animations that are just slightly better, like Unknown. I think even though he is completely barefoot, whatever it is super strong and resilient. Also, the extra animation from third person where he gets really low to kick it makes it super creepy. And also, just like Huntress, he's literally wielding an axe, so he should probably just use that instead. Although I guess he wouldn't know how to properly use an axe, since this thing is trying to mimic humans. The last one on the list of just using their right foot kick, aka the lowest group, is Oni, which I wish he did something a little more, but him being able to crush a pallet so easily with his gigantic feet does make a lot of sense here. So next we've got some killers that do something a little more and don't just kick the pallet with their right foot. Continuing this list, we have Artist. The fact that Ink Feet is the same strength as a giant Oni's foot is very weird. Although I do like the fact that she uses both of her feet. She's unique in that fact, and I don't really mind it, I just think it's kind of funny. Next to Singularity, I'm not really sure what else he could do, but him using his feet does fit. I just wish he would do something a little more. Although it does look very cool, but it is just another kick, unfortunately. Next is Hag. Using her sharp claws to break the pallet looks super amazing, but it just looks like she's wildly flinging her arm at the pallet in first person, when it doesn't really look like that from the third. Just the first person one looks a little strange to me. Next is Plague. The way she swings the incense so elegantly makes this animation so cool, because it's not like she's ever going to use her rotten feet to kick it. They'd probably just fall off. Next up is Spirit. Using her katana to break the pallet in this 2-tap motion is really impressive and very smooth, and the way it goes back into her hand looks just so amazing. Now for the rest of the killers, I had literally the hardest time in my life trying to place them, because the rest of these animations are all really smooth, and they all look so awesome and pleasant to the eyes. And this is why it took me an extra day to make this, because I was having such difficulty trying to put these where I want them, because they're all just so nice looking. But I think for the next one, I have to go with Blight. I wanted to put him higher, but I don't think he quite makes it up there. The way he hits the pallet with his hand and then canes down is so smooth and really nice looking and fits him perfectly. Next is Deathslinger. The way he flips the gun to the back and hits it just works so well for him. It's really smooth and looks really nice, and him using the back of his gun makes so much more sense because he's got a leg brace on, so it's not like he's going to hit it with his foot. Next is Demo. I really didn't want to put Demo this low, but the clawing does look really nice and is like the perfect fit for this animalistic character. Although I wish he did something where he like kind of dug his claws in the pallet and then ripped them out. I think that would have been really cool. Next is Alien. I think this is exactly like Demo's, but for me, I think it just fits a little better and looks better. I don't really know what it is to it, but I just think it looks better for some reason. Next is Twins. Using her weapon to put it in the pallet and then pull it out, exploding it everywhere is exactly what I think would fit Demo, but it works here so amazingly to make this really cool animation. Next is Ghoul. If his Kagune is strong enough to rip through a person's stomach like it was nothing, then breaking a pallet shouldn't be an issue at all, and it's definitely not. The way he 2-taps it is probably some of the smoothest animation I've ever seen, and it's completely outstanding. Next is Chucky. And while it doesn't make sense for a doll to basically explode a pallet, the extra animation they did where he gets on top of it and then sticks his knife in it adds a lot more variety to him. Next up is Wesker. The Ouroboros is really strong, and him pulling it out and gliding it through the pallet like this makes so much sense and looks even better in third person, but from first person, I can't help but follow it with my eyes every time I break a pallet. It looks really nice. Next up is Nurse. Using telekinesis to break a pallet is so hardcore, and I love that she just breaks it like it's nothing. I'm sure you've like almost never seen this animation to begin with, because why would you break a pallet as Nurse? Next is Dredge. The way he charges up just to release a huge slam on the pallet looks really ferocious, and it's super intimidating, and they did such a good job at the same time. Speaking of intimidating, Nemesis is next, which also charges up a huge slam, but unlike Dredge, doesn't need a lot of effort to break through it, since this character is very well known for just smashing through walls nonchalantly, so breaking this stupid piece of wood is nothing to him. Next up is Knight. Gliding his long sword through the pallet is exactly what Pyramid Head should have done, but here it works so well for Knight, and looks so good, and he puts in like so much effort to swing it down that it just looks so amazing. So next up is Pinhead. The way he spawns the 3 chains with his hand gliding down and then closing his fist to break and release a bunch of force to the pallet is probably the most imposing thing you could do, and oh my does it look so good. Breaking the pallet without touching it definitely ranks killers higher. This animation for Onryo with the sound and breaking is just ear and eye candy. Every animation they did for Onryo makes her just so creepy and mysterious, just like how she's supposed to be represented, and breaking it with just 2 hand movements is crazy work, and I love it. It's so smooth. Spawning fire from your hand is already cool enough, but to break a wooden object like this and make it basically disintegrate like it was never even there in the first place is really impressive, and that fire looks so nice. I think a lot of you guys could have already guessed this already, but for number 1 with the coolest normal breaking animation has to be Vecna. Just like the wall animation, the way he curls his fingers to a fist to then spawn a bunch of crystals to break the pallet is the coolest animation by far in this game. The way it's so synced up and unbelievably smooth makes this just so impressive to look at and is really well done. Okay, so we are done with the first part, but because this is my channel and I wanted to put a little twist on the video, Some killers have either their kit or some sort of add-on that breaks a pallet in a different way than just pressing space to break it. So I'm gonna rank them on how cool these look, and I will be ranking a little bit on efficiency as well. Also quickly, these animations I'm ranking next, you as the player have to do something in order to break it, like pressing spacebar. So there won't be any sort of like overdrive, Spirit Fury Singularity, and no claw trap from Skull Merchant, if that even is how she works. I'm honestly not even sure. So basically what I'm saying is there's no passive break. You still have to do something in order to break the pallet. For this, we have 15 other different ways. Also, for a fun little game for you guys, on some of these there will be a little Dwight hiding in the background, so see if you can find him and let me know in the comments. So first off, we have Jailer. He does get the job done in breaking the pallet, but he is so slow in doing this, and the way he just kind of pitifully hits the pallet at the end is actually really funny and made me crack up so hard, but also it's just not efficient at all. Assassin is next, and while it does look cool, he also isn't very efficient whatsoever, although he puts way more effort into actually breaking the pallet, which is why he's definitely above Jailer. Next up, we have our favorite chainsaw boys. Bubba and his classic chainsaw. This makes so much sense than breaking it with his foot. Doesn't have any sort of special effects or whatever, but it does get the job done very well. Hillbilly's chainsaw is next, and this one is above Bubba because it just looks better to me for some reason, and he also has an add-on that he can just sprint right through it, so he gets extra points there for me at least. Demo Shred looks very cool, and also a really cool way to break the pallet as well. I've got nothing negative other than it just stuns you in place for a bit, but if you were to just go through it or there would be no stun, that would be way too overpowered. The Blight Charge is next, and the way he just smashes it and then injects himself is very cool looking. Although the camera seems to be a little buggy for me sometimes. I'm not sure if this is just me or if it just happened with this one occurrence. The Carnifex is next up. It's not flashy, but it gets the job done, and spawning a whole minion just to break a pallet in one swipe faster than you can get it done is super cool. Wesker's Lab Photo is next, and only because you sometimes do want to actually go over it instead of breaking the pallet, but the really short cooldown afterwards actually looks amazing, and slapping anything in this game, I have to give it extra points. Iridescent Button on Legion has to be some of the smoothest animation I've seen in a game before. Sliding over the pallet and seeing it break is so fascinating to watch, and Legion just sliding over the pallet anyways just looks really cool from first person specifically. Chucky's Scamper is really efficient, but sometimes can mess you up. But watching Chucky go under something in this game is a really nice touch, and I had to give it extra points just for that animation alone. Demon Strike is next. Oni's slam down of the club is really pleasant to the eye, and the way it gets obliterated is just so fun to watch in my opinion. Next is Singularity Overdrive. Even though I won't rank the Insta Break because it'd be cheating for the video, I had to rank the 10 times brutal strength you get when you're in overdrive and just destroy the pallet in 4 times speed, which not only is efficient, but the effects on the screen make you feel unstoppable. Vecna Hand is next, and while this isn't really efficient, it does look super flashy and spawns the hand from Super Smash Bros. In and smashes the pallet, but unfortunately doesn't get ranked higher because it takes 3.2 seconds to break, which is a really long time, but it is really smooth. The Nemesis Tentacle is probably the most efficient pallet destroyer in the game. Not only does it look really cool with the animation of it slithering back after you use it, but it's also super satisfying to watch the pallet just get obliterated. And at number 1, I had to go with Dracula's Wolf. While it does keep you there after you break the pallet, the animation is very cool, and I had to give so many extra points for the howling he does at the end of the pallet break, because that's just so extra and I love it. So this was my list for the Killer's breaking animations. I added my own little spin on it for your guys' entertainment. I hope you enjoyed, and if you did, then I hope you consider subscribing for more crazy rankings that I do in the future. Comment any more ideas or if I missed something, and if you caught some Dwights in the background, definitely let me know there too. Thank you for watching, and I hope you have a great rest of your day or night, and as always, take care guys.